Hello everyone. Being focused is one of the most important things in sport. Under no circumstances should you lose your concentration. To remain focused, athletes must be able to control their emotions, both positive and negative, and not allow themselves to be overwhelmed. Unfortunately, when the victory is closer than ever, not everyone behaves accordingly. Today, we're going to show you the stories of athletes who started to celebrate too early and lost at the last second. Let's get it on. After a successful free kick, the players of the small Mozambique club Ferroviario celebrated the goal just like the best teams in the world.
Heavy touch to try and put that into the net. Capelingo scored a really good...
Take a look at player number 4. Do you like the way he jumps in the air? He could stop playing soccer and start a career as an acrobat. The goalkeeper also joined the celebration, but he should have actually kept an eye on the ball. Everything would have been fine, but the players were so keen on celebrating the goal that they didn't notice how their opponents from the Zambian club K-Stars played the ball and tied the score with a precise shot from the middle of the field.
But he's hurrying too late and the damage is done. Great opportunism from the goal.
And the funny thing is that apparently after the goal, they wanted to do the same thing as their opponents. Soccer fans know that penalties are the most nervous moments in any match. Just imagine how tense the goalkeeper is at that instant. This goalkeeper from the youth team of the South African club Orlando Pirates just couldn't hold back his joy after deflecting a powerful shot from a Spartak player. But a few seconds later, something incredible happened. After being shot to the sky by the goalkeeper, the ball headed towards the goal and this time hit the net.
On the penalty kicker's list, such as his finishing ability, or does he crack under pressure? That's why Vlad Shitov cracks under pressure, and somehow
there was nothing left for the poor goalkeeper to do but clutch his head. As in any speed competition, the levels of adrenaline on the kart circuit are over the top, especially when you're a few meters away from the finish line. Indeed, it's nothing for a racer traveling at a speed of more than 250 kilometers per hour. However, sometimes emotions can play an evil joke on us. That's what happened to this racer, who started celebrating his own victory before even crossing the finish line. It was clearly a mistake, just 2 seconds of celebration. His opponent immediately caught up with him and left the poor driver behind. It would seem that billiard sports are not the kind of discipline where one should celebrate a victory until all the balls on the table have stopped moving. But apparently, this player was very confident of his victory. After sending the black ball into the pocket, which by the rules guarantees the player the first place, this guy immediately began to celebrate. However, he forgot that at the same time the cue ball, which is the numberless ball used by the players to strike the other balls, in no case can get into the pocket. And as you can see, that's exactly what happened.
Well played. I'm gone. Where's the cue ball going? Where's the cue ball going?
foul. Like other 11.
Well, what?
Caillou Pang 7.
Here's another curious case from the world of soccer. In a UEFA Under-16 development tournament, the Macedonian players got slightly carried away by the celebration of their first goal. While the players were hugging the coaching staff and their benchmates, Gibraltar's players were not wasting their time. Here you can see the Macedonian goalkeeper running in panic towards his goal after the celebration, but his opponents are counter-attacking with all that they have, and as you can see, the situation ended with a goal. By the way, for those who don't know how fair this is, according to the rules, the game can be resumed if all the players of the scoring team have returned to their side of the field, and it doesn't matter if they're ready to play or not. Kerem Bulut, the tattooed Turkish player you see on the screen, has long been known as a badass, and during this match, he showed that he has problems hearing the referee's whistles. During a match against Melbourne City, the forward of the Western Sydney Wanderers scored a goal and ran to celebrate the victory with the fans. It took him about 20 seconds to see that something was wrong though. None of his mates were celebrating, and the goal was not scored because of an offside.
He still hasn't recognised the flag. Now it's dawned on him.
Moreover, Kerem received a second yellow card because of his excessive celebration. It's not surprising, even famous soccer stars don't celebrate like this. Not everyone takes video games seriously, but cybersports are considered a real sporting discipline almost all over the world. One of the leading game development countries is Japan, so it's no wonder that some of the best gamers on the planet live there. In 2015, the fight between these two Japanese gamers at the largest international fighting games tournament, EVO, ended unpredictably, not only for the fans but also for the players. During a qualifying battle in the game Guilty Gear XRD, one of the fighters under the nickname Washiga made a winning stroke. Confident of his victory, the gamer jumped out of his chair and began to celebrate. The only problem was that the fight wasn't actually over yet.
So smart, he couldn't burst because of the super. But Washiga thinks it's over! He won the last round! And the Ogawa doesn't care! He still got 65%! Oh my god! Washiga, no!
Taking advantage of his opponent's inattention, the other gamer, Ogawa, promptly got rid of him and literally pulled out the victory in the last seconds.
Oh my god! Washiga thought it was over and stood up, and Ogawa gave him no remorse!
After scoring their first goal in this match against Sweden, the French team was sure that they'd secured a ticket to the 2015 Euro Under-21s. After all, there were only 4 minutes left on the clock, and the Swedes had to score another goal to qualify. Player number 3, Layvin Kurzawa, was very happy for the goal. He was making a gesture with his hand like if he were looking for someone. In short, the younger player celebrated the goal as if the fight was over. Big mistake. Just a minute later, Sweden scored again, and the extra time wasn't enough to change the score once again. The French left the pitch defeated, and Sweden classified to the 2015 UEFA European Under-21 Championships. And you know what? They won! Can you believe it? By the way, pay attention to the way that they celebrated the victory in this match. The whole team is repeating Kurzawa's gesture, reminding him that he shouldn't celebrate too early. Oops, another goalie mistake. Such errors, as you know, can decide the outcome of any soccer game. In this case, the Liverpool goalkeeper was sure that the ball left the field, and therefore he didn't rush back to his usual place. But in fact, the ball did not leave the field, but instead bounced off the upper side bar. And while the goalkeeper was at the corner of the net, Manchester United's forward scored a goal to secure the victory. It's generally accepted that big tennis is very expressive. You probably remember the screams. However, table tennis is also emotional. In this video, one of the players is already celebrating, believing that the ball was out. However, after a few seconds, the ball lands on his side of the table. That's why you always have to stay alert. Sometimes even the laws of physics don't work as well as you expected. Dynamo Moscow is the most successful team in the Women's Volleyball Champions League. Winning 11 times in total, so of course the players are confident in their skills. However, they shouldn't underestimate their opponents. That's exactly what happened to the volleyball players at the Russian club in 2017 during a match against Valero Zurich, a team from Switzerland. The Russian players made a powerful shot, and without even waiting for the ball to land, started to celebrate with a collective hug. While the girls were hugging each other, standing with their backs to the net, Brazilian volleyball player Fabiola kicked the ball, passing it to a teammate. The deadly combination ended with a point in favour of the Swiss club. For those who don't know much about volleyball, we have to explain that kicks are allowed and have been for many years. During the track and field competitions, everyone is so fast that it's sometimes difficult to keep track of everything. Sometimes even the athletes can't keep up with what's going on around them. At the 2015 IAAF World Championship, American athlete Molly Huddle ended up in the 4th place in the 10-kilometer race, only because at the very last moment she threw her hands up, which naturally slowed down her speed at the finish line.
Look at the finish. A dive for the line by Infeld. Beats Molly Huddle, who was settling back, who was relaxing.
The time difference with her rival was only 0.09 seconds. Could there be anything more frustrating than losing like that? One night, Sam was falling asleep in front of the screen when suddenly, something went wrong. Oh no, he's been caught by Iron Man's suit, and now a portal has opened and Sam ended up inside a huge robot. Missiles, explosions, Sam falls through a time portal and… oh, phew. Do you want to experience something similar? Then come and meet us. Don't fall asleep like Sam. Subscribe to TechZone.